does Ole Miss beat Tulane in the college football playoff? They already have the formula. They basically just need to repeat that if they want to win this game. But there are some things they do have to worry about that will make it a little bit different. We're going to take a look at what Ole Miss has done well, talk about the elephant in the room, and discuss what they need to do if they want to make a run in the college football playoff. Now, we'll just get the elephant in the room out of the way. How does Lane Kiffin's departure affect this team? What we've seen so far is a team that has not appreciated how he's left, and it seems like they've kind of rallied around his departure. Now, that can mean good things, but it also could mean that they're distracted. How do they combat that? Are they truly focused on the task at hand, or is the emotion from that situation, the drama from that situation, going to affect them? That is a big question that we'll have to see with this team. Now, they've already beaten Tulane this year. They dominated Tulane this year. So they've shown that they can win this game already. They've already proven that. But Tulane is a little bit of a different team. I think that they are in a different place than they were at the beginning of the year. They were dealing with a lot of transfers. Not that Ole Miss wasn't, but specifically with Tulane. They had a transfer quarterback that was in one of his first starts with this team. They had a bunch of different talent trying to step in. This is a different team. So Ole Miss is going to treat it like that. Now, the biggest thing that they can do right off the bat is finding balance with Trinidad Chambliss and Kewan Lacey. I think running the football down Tulane's throat is going to be a big thing for this team. And we've seen both of these guys have tremendous seasons. Chambliss, 3,016 yards passing, 18 touchdowns to 3 interceptions. He's also been a factor as a runner, 470 yards and 6 touchdowns. Kewan Lacey leads the team with 1,279 yards rushing and 20 touchdowns. He's made some incredible runs, highlight reel runs, and those two hold the keys for the success of this team. Those two will dictate how successful this team is early and often. And Chambliss has been one of the better stories in college football. Coming from D2 Ferris State, which I think I'm kind of getting sick of saying because it's just he's proven that he's good at the SEC level. It's just a storyline. He has shown that he can handle life in the SEC. He can show us that he can run. He's also shown us that he is effective as a passer. He's had a number of guys to throw to as well. Harrison Wallace leads the team with 719 yards. Deuce Alexander has emerged with 577. Caden Lee, who is a all-conference type player last year, 537 yards, 3 touchdowns. Deshaun Stribling, 533. Daquan Wright, 489. Winston Watkins, 363. He has been very good at distributing the football to multiple different playmakers, and that's going to help in this game as well. How much balance they have is going to be huge, but also this group needs to get off to a fast start. The biggest question I think people have is, with Lane Kiffin not there, can Charlie Weiss Jr. call a good enough game to make this team a problem for anybody and to be able to get Tulane off to a fast start? A fast start for this team is going to put Tulane in a tough position and is going to make life a little bit more challenging than they anticipated. Tulane's defense can get to the quarterback. They can be disruptive. But the physicality of Ole Miss, the ability to hit explosive plays, is going to put away Tulane very quick. So a fast start is going to be huge. They're also playing at home, so that's going to be another factor. Getting this fan base into it will help this team even more. And getting explosive plays will get that fan base into it. Getting this group that I think suddenly has a newfound purpose, a newfound motivation with everything that's happened. They are trying to prove to everybody, as well as Lane Kiffin, something that they haven't had to do this year. I think they're trying to show to everybody we're still a title contender. We can still make a run in the college football playoff. And they're trying to show Lane Kiffin that, we don't really need you. You want to leave to somewhere that you think is better? Fine, we'll just go off and win it ourselves. And if there's a roster that has the talent to make a run, there are a number of them. Ole Miss is definitely there. I think they're probably on the fringe of what most people would consider teams that could make a run, but this team can be a very fun team, a very tough team to stop. So it'll be fun to watch this offense, to see what they're capable of doing and see how they make things happen. Now, the defense has a familiar formula already. Rattling Jake Retzlaff is the quickest way to put Tulane away. Multiple teams have done this year. UTSA got to him quite a bit. Ole Miss got to him earlier in the season. If you are going to slow down Tulane's offense, the defense getting to the quarterback is the biggest way. And we've seen this group do it. We've seen this group make an impact. Sundream Perkins has been super fun to watch, but other guys have stepped up because of his presence. Xavier Harris is a monster on the inside. Prince Will Monmielen has been an emerging player that I don't think a lot of people anticipated having as good of a year as he's having. He's been a factor, and he leads the team with 10 tackles for loss and 6.5 sacks. So he's been a big time factor with some questions about who is going to be that guy. And getting to Jake Retzlaff means one of those guys is going to get to him. Getting to him is going to be huge. And Pete Golding has a great opportunity in front of him. Not only just to coach the defense to win a playoff game, but also to make a run and build momentum for his future as the head coach of Ole Miss. He's done a great job this year with this defense. And now he has a big challenge of how do you get this whole team to come together? How do you make some of those decisions during the game? How do you make some of the decisions about the offense? Because now he is going to be part of the offense. He's going to have to help the offense decide on certain things, certain decisions. And maybe this is not the game where he's going to be put in that position a ton, but he will in the future. So getting to Jake Retzlaff is going to be huge we talked about the crowd, getting the crowd into it. And dominating the line of scrimmage is how you essentially give Tulane zero chance of winning this game. When you look at what they did in the first game, Tulane didn't get to 10 points until late in the fourth quarter. That's because this offense put up points and the defense was swarming Jake Retzlaff and Brendan Sullivan when they had him in. Tulane is clearly the underdog for a reason. And when you look at the spread, it's easy to see why people expect Ole Miss to win this one. The talent level is very one-sided. The thing with Ole Miss is you have to show that. You have to show exactly why it's one-sided. You have to show that this is a team that doesn't belong in the same category as you, that doesn't belong in the same game as you, same playoff. Because right now everybody's talking about the group of 5 and how they have 2 teams in and how that's a problem. Show that. Because if Tulane hangs in this game, if Tulane finds a way to make Ole Miss sweat, that is still going to continue. So for anybody in the SEC that is sick of seeing the group of 5, do what you can do and repeat this formula. That's the basically the same thing you have to do in this game. Do what you did in the first game and do it again. Take Jake Retzlaff out of the game, take the offense away, and put up points. If you look at the UTSA game for Tulane, that's exactly what UTSA did. They were disruptive on defense and they were explosive on offense. If there's a team that knows anything about that, it's Ole Miss. Ole Miss knows how to get to the quarterback. They know how to make explosive plays and they know how to put teams away before it's too late. That's going to be a huge key. Starting fast, getting to Jake Retzlaff. It's very obvious, very simple game plan. And for Pete Golding, who's coming into his first game as the head coach of Ole Miss, that is going to be a big key for them. If he can do that, then it's going to be fun to watch. The biggest thing is how does he get them to rally around and focus on the task at hand? The Lane Kiffin stuff has to be in the past. Or just put it on pause. If this team is so focused on their hatred or their anger towards Lane Kiffin and how things went down, they're not going to make it far. They can still win this game, but they can't make it far if that's how they're thinking. Pete Golding has a task ahead of him to get this team motivated, to rally the troops, to get them focused on the task at hand, the run that they could potentially make, because this team is capable of doing that. They're talented enough to make a run. So it'll be fun to see how they make that happen. Can they do it? That's the biggest question. There's a lot of questions surrounding this team, but right now, beating Tulane is the only thing they should worry about. Getting this off to a fast start, putting up enough points where Tulane has to stress and become more one-sided offensively. Because when Tulane has balance, they're good. But when they don't, when they have to throw the football, they're not a team that can just drop back and throw it 40 times a game. They're just not. They're not efficient. If you're able to put the stress on Tulane early, which this team has already done this year, then you're looking at a game that is going heavily in Ole Miss's favor. So that's an opportunity for them. It's an areas that they can get to where it puts more pressure on Tulane. It'll be fun to watch this game. It'll be fun to see how Ole Miss responds to everything that's transpired in the last few weeks. And it'll be interesting to see if Ole Miss has a national championship run in them.